Hey everyone, it is day 21 of our daily challenges. Thank you as always for joining us. We love doing this. We love being a part of your lives as well as us being a part of yours. Thank you for inviting us day in and day out into your phones, into your computers, your iPads, whatever it may be to get to know God a little more, to get to know ourselves a little more, and to be challenged to become better in our walk with Christ. So thank you so much for that. Well, you know, one of my favorite verses in the Bible, Philippians 4:8, it says this: whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. Now, I love that because as human beings, our minds, they go crazy sometimes, right? Especially when we're in uncertain times as we are right now. And did you know that actually your mind, my mind, everybody's mind has a default setting? When times get hard, when things get scary, we automatically can jump to the wrong conclusions. We start thinking things that aren't true, or we start thinking things that aren't actually going to help us get any better in our situation. And you know, these bad thoughts can just hijack our mind. They can take over our mind and put us in a really dark, scary place. And that's not the way God intended that to be. See, we have to let good thoughts grow in our minds and in our hearts. See, if you like gardening, if you are one of those people that really spends a lot of time making your lawn green or helping your garden grow, you know there's one thing that just destroys those things, and that's weeds, right? Even those little dandelions that our kids, and even when we were kids, what we thought were cool, we could just pluck them and blow them. They cause weeds, right? They're not a good thing. But if we allow those weeds to grow up in those beautiful things that we are trying to cultivate through a garden or through a lawn, eventually it's just going to take over. And if we allow those things to flourish, they're going to take over and eventually kill everything that we've worked so hard to make beautiful. 2 Corinthians 10:5 says, we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. See, that's the key right there. We have to stop. We have to close our eyes and we have to say, God, I know this isn't of you. I know this fear and this worry and this concern and all this stuff going on in my heart right now is not from you. And so I want to take it captive. I want to give it to you and lay it at the foot of the cross. See, that's what we have to do sometimes. We take those bad thoughts, we take all that stuff captive, and we got to lay it aside. And we got to start thinking again of those things that are true, those things that are noble and right and holy and praiseworthy and admirable. Start thinking about Christ and how it is that he can pull us out of these situations. So that's my challenge for you today is to take those thoughts captive. I know, again, as we have been sitting in our homes day in and day out, weeks in now, our minds start to wander. Our minds start to tell us things that probably aren't true, or start to remind us maybe of who we used to be, that we're never going to be good, that we're never going to be noble, that God can't change our hearts, that God can't save us. But I'm going to tell you, church, God does. God can and God will. God is an awesome God, and I'm so thankful that he has looked beyond my faults, he's looked beyond my failures and my mistakes, and put me in the place where I am today. And I'm going to tell you, just an honest moment here, that I'm one of those kind of thinkers. You know, sometimes I live in my head too much. I start allowing my thoughts to take me captive instead of me taking those thoughts captive, and turning them around and thinking about the things that God's Word tells us to think on. So that's my challenge today. Start thinking about those things. Start taking those thoughts captive that cause us to worry, that cause us to live in fear, that cause us to look at the news and just think, oh no, we're not going to make it. We're never going to come out of this. But to have faith that God is still in control. Have the thoughts like that. Have those thoughts and know that God is always in control. Despite what we think, despite what we know, despite what we feel, he is always there and he still reigns on the throne. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Take those thoughts captive. Remember that anything we allow to grow that's negative in our minds is gonna destroy us. So we have to let those thoughts about Christ start to grow in our minds. We have to worship. We have to stop and start singing a song. We have to stop and read God's Word. We have to stop and pray and take those things captive and give them all to Christ. Lay them at the foot of the cross. So that's my challenge today. Let those good thoughts grow. Kill those weeds of worry and indecisiveness and anxiety and all this and panic, right? Kill those thoughts and allow the thoughts of Christ to grow in your heart and in your mind, and watch how things will start to change for you. We love you guys so much. We thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful week and God bless you.